Most people assume that mindset is universal, that success, focus, and decision-making work the same way across cultures. But when you compare the thinking patterns of Asian and Western societies, you start to notice deep differences that affect how people approach life, work, and relationships. Let's begin with an observation. In many Asian cultures, there is a strong emphasis on discipline, patience, and long-term planning. Children are often taught from a young age that effort, repetition, and respect for rules are the key to success. Studying late at night, practicing skills repeatedly, and enduring challenges without complaining are considered virtues. This creates a mindset focused on consistency, perseverance, and collective responsibility. In contrast, Western or American mindsets often highlight individuality, experimentation, and personal freedom. People are encouraged to explore, to take risks, and to speak up even when they fail. Creativity, innovation, and independent thinking are valued more than repetition or conformity. The result is a mindset that prioritizes exploration, adaptability, and personal expression. Now, imagine two students tackling the same challenge. The Asian student may approach it systematically, carefully planning each step, following proven methods, and persisting through difficulties until the solution is perfect. The Western student may approach it more creatively, trying different angles, learning from mistakes, and valuing speed and experimentation over perfection. Neither approach is inherently better, but each produces different outcomes. These differences also appear in problem solving. Asian mindsets often focus on long-term consequences and stability. Decisions are weighed against social and family expectations, and there's an awareness of potential ripple effects. Western mindsets prioritize immediate results, personal growth, and testing boundaries, even if it risks short-term failure. This is why you'll often see Western entrepreneurs embracing rapid experimentation, while Asian professionals focus on mastery and precision. When it comes to relationships and social behavior, the contrast continues. Asian cultures often teach indirect communication, respect for hierarchy, and harmony. Silence, careful word choice, and observation are considered strengths. Western cultures encourage directness, debate, and self-expression. Speaking up is valued as a sign of confidence, while silence can sometimes be misinterpreted as weakness. But there's another layer, the mindset around failure. In many Western countries, failure is seen as a learning opportunity. Making mistakes is part of growth, and resilience is built by bouncing back. In many Asian cultures, failure can carry social pressure, leading to self-discipline and persistence, but sometimes also fear of public judgment. Again, different approaches, each with pros and cons. Work ethic is another stark difference. Asian mindsets often cultivate extreme dedication and patience. Early mornings, late nights, and careful incremental progress are normalized. Western mindsets focus on balance, efficiency, and achieving high results without necessarily burning out. One emphasizes endurance. The other emphasizes strategic leverage of effort. Even in creativity, both mindsets offer advantages. Asian thinking often relies on structured innovation, building upon existing knowledge systematically. Western thinking encourages radical innovation, breaking rules, and creating entirely new frameworks. Each produces brilliance, but in very different ways. Observation shows that the combination of these mindsets can be incredibly powerful. Individuals who adopt the discipline of Asian thinking with the creativity of Western thinking often excel beyond peers in both problem-solving and execution. But few consciously mix the two. Most are shaped heavily by their cultural environment. Continuing from the differences we discussed, the next question becomes, which mindset produces better outcomes? The answer isn't simple, because better depends on what you value, your environment, and the goals you pursue. Asian mindsets excel in situations that require long-term planning, resilience, and discipline. When facing complex projects or goals that demand patience, an individual trained in systematic thinking often outperforms. They are comfortable with delayed gratification, able to endure repetitive work, and maintain focus even when external validation is minimal. These qualities are powerful for mastering skills, academic excellence, or careers that rely on precision and endurance. Western mindsets shine in environments that reward creativity, risk-taking, and adaptability. When innovation, quick decision-making, and self-expression are needed, a person accustomed to independent thinking thrives. They are more willing to experiment, learn from failure, and pivot strategies quickly. Western thinking often leads to breakthroughs, entrepreneurial success, and adaptive problem-solving in unpredictable situations. Interestingly, these mindsets also affect how people handle pressure. Asian cultural emphasis on patience and responsibility often builds tolerance for stress over time. People learn to approach challenges calmly, carefully analyzing consequences before acting. Western emphasis on individuality and assertiveness can make people more confident in expressing opinions and taking bold steps under pressure. But there's a critical insight. Neither mindset is inherently superior. Each has strengths and weaknesses. The Asian approach can sometimes result in risk aversion or overcautiousness, while the Western approach may lead to impulsive decisions or a lack of long-term follow-through. The key is context. A high-pressure startup may reward Western-style experimentation, while a complex engineering project may favor Asian-style, meticulous planning. The most interesting outcomes appear when individuals blend the two approaches. Imagine someone who combines disciplined planning with bold experimentation. They follow structured routines and focus on mastery, yet remain flexible enough to adapt creatively to unexpected challenges. This hybrid mindset often produces leaders, innovators, and thinkers who are both resilient and visionary. Cultural mindset differences also influence how people perceive social interactions and collaboration. Asian thinking tends to emphasize collective harmony, subtle communication, and social responsibility. Western thinking emphasizes debate, individual expression, and challenging norms. Understanding these differences can dramatically improve cross-cultural teamwork and communication. A Western team member may see silence as disengagement, while an Asian team member sees it as reflection and careful consideration. Recognizing this prevents misunderstandings and fosters better collaboration. So, what does this mean for you as an individual? First, self-awareness is crucial. Understand which cultural influences shaped your thinking patterns. Are you naturally cautious, patient, and systematic? Or are you independent, bold, and experimental? Second, be willing to adopt strategies from both mindsets. Discipline doesn't have to suppress creativity, and risk-taking doesn't require abandoning careful planning. The smartest approach is intentional. You take the strengths of each mindset and apply them consciously. Finally, mental strength and adaptability are universal. Silence, reflection, patience, and observation, often associated with Asian thinking, enhance decision-making. Confidence, assertiveness, and experimentation, often associated with Western thinking, drive innovation. Together, they form a balanced, highly effective approach to life. Understanding cultural mindsets is not about choosing a winner. It's about learning. By observing, reflecting, and intentionally combining the best of both worlds, you can create a mindset that is resilient, creative, and powerful. Silence can teach patience. Discipline can fuel consistency. Creativity can spark solutions, and assertiveness can drive action. The ultimate advantage comes from knowing yourself, borrowing strategies from different cultures, and applying them with purpose. Your mindset is not fixed, it's a tool, and when used wisely, it can shape the trajectory of your life.